Implementation of adjacency matrix representation of graph in C. This is the standard C library that includes input-output functions like printf and scanf for displaying output and taking input. This library is included for general utility functions. Though it is not used in the particular code, it's often included for the functions like malloc, free, and others. This is a preprocessor directive that defines a constant max vertices with a value of 10. This will be used to specify the maximum number of vertices in the graph. Initialize the matrix function. This function initializes the adjacency matrix. The matrix is passed as a 2D array graph with max vertices, rows, and columns, and it takes the vertices argument to determine the size of the graph. The for loop iterates through the matrix for each vertex pair I and j. Graph of I and j is equal to 0 sets all the elements in the adjacency matrix to 0 initially, meaning there are no edges between any vertices at first. Now add edge function. This function adds an edge between the start and end vertices in the adjacency matrix. This sets the matrix entry corresponding to the edge from vertex start to vertex end to 1, indicating an edge exists between them. This is for undirected graphs. If uncommented, it would add the reverse edge, making the graph undirected. Now write the display matrix function. This function displays the adjacency matrix of the graph. The outer for loop iterates over the rows of the matrix, that is vertices. The inner for loop iterates over the columns of the matrix, that is vertices. This prints each entry in the adjacency matrix showing either 0 or 1 to indicate the presence or absence of edges. After each row is printed, this adds a new line to separate the rows visually. Now let's write down the main function. This is the main function where the execution of the program begins. Int vertices, edges. These variables store the number of vertices and edges in the graph. This declares adjacency matrix for the graph with the size of max vertices x max vertices. Here the program prompts the user to input the number of vertices and edges in the graph using printf. Scanf reads the number of vertices from the user input and it reads the number of edges from the user input. This line calls the initialize matrix function to set all elements in the adjacency matrix to 0. The for loop runs for the number of edges specified by the user. For each edge, it prompts the user to enter the start and end vertices of the edge using the printf. Scanf reads the value for the start and end vertices. This is called to add the edge to the adjacency matrix. After all edges have been added, the program calls display matrix graph vertices to display the final adjacency matrix. This line ends the main function and returns 0, signaling that the program executed successfully. This is the output of the program where it requires the user input also. First enter the number of vertices, here entering 4. Now enter the number of edges, entering 4. Enter edge, start and end vertex 0 and 1. Repeat this with 0, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. Here is the adjacency matrix output.